Times Square.
The top of Mount Everest.
Public restroom.
Great Pyramids.
Great Wall of China.
The Eiffel Tower.
Gondola in Venice.
Here at Big Ben.
Live in the moment.
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 Hi everyone, I'm Alex Giuliano here, and this is the Live in the Moment podcast. As always, with me is
Steven Giuliano.
And today we are on the top of Mount Everest.
It's a bit cold. It was exciting to get up here. A lot of trials.
A lot of trials. Oh, so many trials. Personal trials and team trials. It's weird to think of them separately.
Of course, mean this as a metaphor and literally, because we're literally on the top of Mount Everest.
We're literally and figuratively on the top of Mount Everest. But I wanted to talk, starting of course, about working on yourself as a person.
It's important.
And it's very important.
Climbing
it's
those personal mountains.
Your personal Mount Everest. How are you climbing your personal Mount Everest? Are you making daily progress, or are some days you're just staying in your tent and staying at the altitude you're at? Now, I mean, there are always going to be days where you stay inside and you don't get a whole lot done. The important thing is on those days to not take any backward steps. Don't reverse any of your previous progress because you're in a funk. It's okay to hover where you're at for a period of time because you have to be content with where you are in order to get to the next level. But it's extremely important to not take any steps back. Can you think of any personal mountains you've had to climb recently?
Well, this is kind of a weird way to take it. Mm-hmm. But I had to move into a house, mm-hmm. and I had to move a bunch of stuff out of a storage locker. Mm-hmm. And at this point in my journey, I was quite a few hours in, and I really needed to pee, and I didn't really have any options.
Yikes.
Okay, I mean, I had no options. Like, I didn't bring water bottles with me or anything, and I was just like...
Now, why couldn't you pee at the house you were moving into?
It's 40 minutes away from the spot I was at least 50 minutes. I was in a U-Haul. I had a U-Haul. I'm next to a storage locker, and I am a good 30 minutes from anywhere. And then it's a big vehicle, which is very limited where I can go. So I was just kind of stuck, and I had to figure out how I was going to actually manage to pee while I was out there. There's a lake, and I was like, well, I could pee in the lake, but there's some type of foot traffic. There's things mm-hmm. nearby. It's a residential kind of area. You can't just whip your wiener out. Mm-hmm. It's frowned upon, generally.
Usually.
So I was trying to find some type of reservoir to put it in before it went into the lake. Because the lake is a safe place for it to end up.
I gotcha.
But I was trying to get it from my body into another medium. And I had no bottles or anything. I was scouring through the storage locker trying to find anything. Some kind of bottle, something. Beer pong cups.
Are beer pong cups still in there? Oh, that's great.
So I hop in the cab of the U-Haul and I fill 3 cups. And then I went and chucked them in the lake. So that was sort of my personal mountain. You just chucked
the pee into the lake, right? Not the cups into the lake. Okay, you're not just throwing plastic into water.
No. Okay. No, it was like a launching kind of.
I gotcha.
I gotcha. No, it was cool.
Yikes.
Ish. Except for the splashback of the pee. But yeah. But that was a personal mountain. You don't know what kind of adversity you're going to run into, but you got to be able to think on your feet. I guess is my lesson from that.
Yeah, you got to be able to think on your feet.
Got to be able to think on your feet, because there was no way I was going to. I mean, that whole ordeal was a little ridiculous. Because I get to the storage locker. I'm in the big old U-Haul, and they have their sign that's way up in the air in front of their shop. They have a giant truck, like the kind that puts out those feet so it doesn't tip over, blocking 60% of the drive to get in, like to pull in, and they're just adjusting the sign. So I ended up, I had to swerve around first, but then I just shot over I had to hit some curbs pretty hard just to get in there. And then, of course, the storage locker, the last payment didn't go through or something, so I couldn't just use the code to get in. I had to go inside and then pay, and it was, a lot of things kind of working against me, but I just took it in stride one step at a time, and I got to the top of that mountain.
Good,
I really
good,
did.
good.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but we got through it.
That's good.
Well, I don't know why I said we.
I was gonna
it
say.
was just me.
Yeah,
But
I was not there to help you
No.
get to the storage
No.
unit or to pee or or any of that battle. No.
No, you were working on
I was working
other
on other
stuff.
things.
Yeah, you were making sure we're pushing forward. Like,
Trying to,
You were doing
anyway.
what? Yeah, you were doing what you were supposed to, as far as I could tell. But
You know,
it didn't keep me from going through trials.
I think I may have deleted my notes for the podcast again because I continually do that while we're doing stuff. Yeah, it looks like I did. Wow.
Did it save in a different notes section?
Mm-mm. There we go. It's in the recently deleted. We're okay, folks. But wow, yeah. So, well, that was right there. That was a personal Mount Everest that I just climbed.
You
Finding
did-
my notes.
you just-
That's impressive. I just
Wow.
created and then climbed that mountain. But I mean, in my personal life, the really biggest mountain we've had to climb is the whole move into the new studio.
Yeah, that's been.
It's been a lot of work. Things like making sure the B cam is set up high enough so that Steven's head isn't chopped if he's sitting up too tall. Things, you know. Things like setting up the new light bars, which you guys can't see in this shot because otherwise they wouldn't have been set up very well.
Yeah.
But, we'll have to do some
Yeah.
behind-the-scenes footage of that later in
Oh, we
the
will.
studio in general.
Yeah, but
But
it's
it's-
vital that the lights are shining on what you're seeing and
Yes.
and
Yes.
aren't just visible by the camera.
Yeah, and it's just been the two of us getting this configured, getting our studio space configured, getting the actual profit side of our business set up to run properly. It's been quite the Mount Everest for us, and we're only
Yeah.
halfway up, if that,
Yeah.
honestly. But we're making forward progress. And the days that we're not making forward progress, we're at least not making backward progress, which is extremely important. 2 steps forward and 1 step back is still a step in the right direction. As much as I
Yeah.
hate that saying.
Yeah, because you want to avoid that one step back.
Yeah, always. Always.
Yeah. But sometimes that step back is because you overreach that first time.
No,
And you're
for-
just trying to
for
level
sure.
it out and find that sustainable model.
Well, and that almost transitions into my second topic, which we'll cover before we get into our clips here. Knowing when to say no. That's you don't that because that's that
You know,
extra step you
this-
didn't mean to take sometimes because you said yes to a commitment or you priced something the way you shouldn't have priced it and they said yes and you move forward. You have to be careful not to engage in situations that are going to, 1, make you look bad, and 2, leave anybody with bad feelings. In the business world, you
Which it
don't
can
want
be
to
hard
burn
to avoid
bridges,
that,
and it's
yeah.
hard to avoid that. And there's something to be said about if you're not making enemies, you're not heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
But don't burn bridges, and when you mess up, admit you messed up, because that's the easiest way to get back on the path to climbing your Everest.
Yeah.
It really is. Just admit you messed up and move forward. That's all that's got to happen. Got to know when to say yes to particular situations, whether it be committing to a podcast every week or it be flying out of town to visit a client, set up their studio. Knowing to say no at the right time saves you endless embarrassment and reputation loss. It really does. Because that's, I think, and this is just me saying this, I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but I think the biggest mistake businesses make is not saying no. Because that's how they garner those bad reputations. They didn't turn down the clientele that they should have turned down. Not all clients are good clients. You don't want every client. You really don't. You don't want them.
No.
You got to know when to say no and when to say yes. It's almost impossible to know until you make that mistake. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes, you start climbing, you're reaching on these different rocks, it's been completely solid, everything's good, and then you hit that one rock that slips, and you
Right
gotta,
out.
you gotta just choose that other path, because some paths just aren't right,
Mhm.
and will,
And they'll
they
lead to
may
your
seem
demise.
good, but they'll lead you a
They'll
different
lead you
way,
down the way you
and then
didn't want to go.
blindside you.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's tricky. It's a
Mhm.
tricky line to walk. Really
Yeah.
is. Really is.
Yeah, but you gotta own your shit,
Yes.
period, and move from there. You gotta recognize where and what is whose mistake,
Mhm.
and take responsibility.
No, for sure.
You know.
Yeah,
Who
and if it's
signs
not
off for
your
what?
mistake, don't take the responsibility for it.
Yeah.
That's another thing. People will take responsibility for mistakes that weren't theirs just to get through the situation. And you can't necessarily always do that because all you're doing is burdening yourself with guilt sometimes. Guilt that's not deserved.
Mm-hmm.
And can you think of a time recently where you've said yes when you should have said no to an opportunity? Or are you just good at saying
I've
no?
gotten decent at saying no.
Okay.
I can't think of any obligation in my life that I'm not cool with.
Yeah, I recently said yes to helping you move. And that was
You
an
did.
obligation I should have said no to because I
You
just
should have
left
said
him
no.
high and dry. Did absolutely nothing for him.
Well, and that's not the worst part.
Oh, no.
That's not even the worst
It
part.
gets worse.
Because
I said I was gonna
don't
be
mind
there.
that at all.
During the day that
Look,
he was
on
there.
Friday, he said, I'm going to help you out Monday to move.
And I should have
Cool.
known that my Monday
I
was
feel
already
like,
booked,
and
by
maybe
the
I'm
way.
making this up, and let me know if I am. But I feel like towards the end of that day, you started mentioning some of the meetings you had on Monday, and I'm like, are you sure you can help? Because that sounds like it's in the morning. Maybe I just thought that. But
I don't remember
but
you
then-
asking, are you sure
I might
you
not
can
ask.
help? But I really should have realized in that moment as I'm recounting, hey, here's what I have to do Monday, but sure, I have time to help you.
It doesn't sound like it. But on Monday, the first leg and stuff was you had that meeting, and it's like, well, of course you
I had a
couldn't
10
do
a.m.
anything.
meeting, couldn't help with that.
I have no issue with that. No issue with you not helping. But then you told me that you were going to meet me at the place to help me unload and bring water.
Yes.
Which was actually the vital part.
Yeah, because he didn't
Because
have water.
partway through, I didn't have water. Like I had
On
I
top
had
of
been
this
kicking
peeing ordeal.
since before 7 a.m. The peeing situation happened at like 10 something. So then way at like 11, 12, I'm over at the place waiting for him. I need some water.
I got a call
Bad.
about 11:30, by the way.
And
he called
I
me
have already
asking for the
been.
water.
I loaded this U-Haul all by myself, and I've mostly unloaded it by myself. And it's at this point, mostly through that. I mean, there was points I thought I was going to pass out quite a few times. And I called him like, hey, I need to know I can secure some water because this is bad, and I can't really bring the U-Haul anywhere to get water.
You
It's
can
not
bring it
really
to gas
until-
stations, so that's about it. You got to park along the edge.
Yeah, I want to deal
It's
with
tricky.
that.
No,
Until,
it's
yeah,
tricky.
No.
It's like bringing lawn equipment with you everywhere.
And I end up finishing up what I'm doing after I call you, and you said yes. I'm like on my way.
I said, yes, I will be.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
heading
yes,
out.
I can head out.
I'm
right
leaving
now.
out now. Like, I'm leaving now. Is what you told me. Basically, you know.
Yeah,
You
because
went
I was
brush
getting
your
out to brush my
You
teeth and leave.
No, you did. You were on track, except you weren't, because then you got struck with the hurts and
diarrhea.
spurts, and you ended up on the toilet.
I did, and I didn't have my phone near me, so this guy had no
Now,
idea
here's the
that
yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
the
on
part
my way.
that kills me. You gotta let me know. I don't. I'm cool with plans changing 100 times. I'm pretty adaptable. It's how you get a lot of things done. If you're able
You have to be adaptable. You have to be.
But at some point, he should have told me because this guy takes a dump for 40 minutes.
And then lets
And
him
then
know.
and they lets me know afterwards. Oh, hey, bud, I'm sorry, I can't
Just
make
finished,
it. I got to
yeah.
do this other meeting here. I just got done pooping, but I wasn't near my phone.
Mhm.
That's not acceptable. I've been waiting. I ended up waiting in the car 20 extra minutes instead of just finalizing and moving on. I mean, it set my day back like crazy. But all you had to do was pinch your cheeks and go grab your phone partway through, because you got to start.
All I had to do was say no on Friday.
Or
That's
say no
really
on
the
Friday.
moral of the story. Don't
If
say
you
yes
know
if
you
you
can't
know
do
you
it, just
have
say
a book
no.
today. Don't try to be Mr. Nice Guy because you end up being an ass. Always say no if you know you can't do it. Period.
Or if you don't want to do it, say
Or if you don't want to do it. You know, interesting thing. These lights, these studio lights, they're hot. They're hot as balls.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I'm like getting nice and hot. It's very interesting.
more heat,
Yeah, I know. It's well, we'll definitely have to show you guys our DIY lighting rig with a behind the scenes video on Instagram. It's pretty killer. It really is.
Super cheap.
Super cheap. We're talking 5 lights, 2 light bars, $100. That's with getting 2 keys copied at the same time. So I don't really know how much the keys cost in that ordeal. But very nice. And all we have to do is go out and buy dimmer switches and run them into this rig, and we'll be able to turn it into a dimmable rig. So it's
Yeah, this lig.
lig.
Dimmable.
Yeah. Dimmable lig.
Dimmable lig.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's saying no is extremely important. But moving on to the clips.
Yeah, let's
I
take a
don't
look
wanna
at a
take up
clip.
all the time. We got some pretty killer clips for you guys today. So I'm going to hand it over to Steve.
These are all related to mountain skiing, climbing, and their fails. So I'm
Low
going to go
fizz.
ahead and do a viewer discretion is advised. Some of these you may find disturbing, but in most, if not all, and I say not all because I don't know, but in a lot of these cases, people survived. So don't worry about
Survived.
seeing death.
They could have
They
been
survived.
injured a lot, but they survived.
Some people were definitely injured, but yeah, should be survived.
Okay.
But-
Should be.
But it's tense.
Okay.
So let's
okay.
watch this first one.
Some of these might be a little. Oh God. Did his safety cable just rip out of the wall?
Yes, it did. Let's watch that again. It broke. No, the rope broke on the rock. Shredded and ripped.
Oh
there.
wow. Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know how far down was the first ledge near him, because of the camera angle, but it wouldn't have felt good no matter how close it was.
No.
Right under that frame. Yeah. Ouchie, ouch.
He got the slightest bit of slowdown from how long it took for the rope to tear, but that was not that long.
No, because that clip was
That
in
was
slow-mo.
not
So
good. That was not proper cabling for rock climbing, I wouldn't say,
I guess, yeah, I don't.
because that seems
Didn't hold
like
up.
maybe they didn't have the right equipment. That's pretty bad. It was, maybe paracord wouldn't have torn as easily. I don't know.
I don't know. Way out of my depth.
Oh dear. Oh dear. First person angle. Oh shit. I'm all nervous now. Why? Why would you do that?
He wants to secure the. You got lucky. See, that's one. Yeah.
Holy shit. He got lucky and unlucky because now his climbing spikes are all the way the fuck up there. And he can't climb up to get them because he doesn't have the spikes to climb back up there.
That's a good point.
Now he's got to
Oh,
go
my.
buy new spikes to recover those spikes.
Yeah, but that moment
That
where you
could've-
just stop is where you just shit yourself.
Yeah, you just stop like, thank the Lord.
Oof.
That's just scary stuff.
Okay, let's watch one more and then we'll go back to topics.
Oh dear. At least this
It
one's
was going
skiing.
good. Well, at least it's skiing.
Oh dear. He does a jump and it doesn't go well.
Didn't see that shit coming, did you?
Hold on. Was that a cliff
We're
that
gonna
he
watch
just
that
went
again?
off of?
See, he survived though. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He managed to land on his back, which is how you want to do it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
on the
If you-
nice snow. Thank God. Let's watch that again, because it was going okay.
It looked like he was
and
going
then
fine.
You thought it was going to be fine, and then he's off the side of a mountain, and you're like,
he's
motherfucker.
like, what? I don't think he saw that
Well,
coming.
what always kills me about, and there's more than one clip similar to this, but you see all the paths going to the same place. He's not the first guy to do that,
Yeah.
I think maybe it leads a little better over there, but I don't think it does. They just went flying off,
Oh my gosh.
When you think about that.
My head hurts a little, and my ribs,
in my
and
back.
my back.
Yeah, but considering, cool.
No, that
Yeah, we'll start
could have
with that
been
one, yeah.
that could have been so much worse.
Oh man.
Now, he could have felt shut down after that. He could have been like, not doing any more skiing.
Oh, he got back
But
up on the slope.
oh, you know it. You
You
can
tell.
tell by the look on his face. But my next topic is feeling shut down. When you just feel life has just been like, nope, you're not going anywhere.
Mm.
It happens to pretty much everybody. It really does. It usually comes out of nowhere, is what it feels like. When you personally just suddenly you wake up one day and you're like, nah, I could just stay in bed and never get back up.
Hmm.
And just stay here until
Well,
I
that
die.
That sounds more like depression than, And
It's a little
that's
bit,
the topic we're
but-
talking about. But I'm saying that's not necessarily something everybody experiences.
Yeah.
As often. But those who know what we're talking about, let's
They
explore
know,
into
yeah.
that. But
no, but feeling
but
shut
yeah, no,
down,
I don't think it
feeling,
is
feeling
necessarily
like life has
universal.
just kind of put you into a box and said, this is where you're at. And this is where you're going to stay unless you figure out. It feels like life puts you into an escape room. And it's like, figure it out, stupid. Like, it can shut you down. It can. Because you feel trapped in that room until you figure it out. And it's not easy to figure out because you don't have a timer running. And then when the timer's up, the staff comes in. Oh, sorry, you didn't get through it. No, you're stuck in there until you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I feel like I recently put myself into one of those rooms. And it's like I'm trying to figure my way out of that escape room.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just as soon as I get out, everything's going to be fine. I'm going to be able to move forward at the same pace I was before. But right now, I just feel like I've been boxed in and shut down. I'm trying not to just stay in bed. I'm trying to get up and figure my way out of this escape room. And it's tough. It is. But do you have any experiences, at least,
I've had experiences like
that?
I wouldn't say recent.
Okay, well,
like
good for
I've
you.
definitely. Oh no, I know.
Because that's
Trust
brutal.
me, I
That's
know.
brutal.
Because like I said before, though, it's like it's not a universal thing, but God, have I suffered from it.
Mhm.
Depression. And more recently, there's almost like there's two lines of thinking that exists in people.
Mm-hmm.
There's, and for lack of better word, I guess like the voice in your head that you hear almost like an auditory, like your thoughts and
Mhm.
you're working through, and these could be helpful and important. But then there's that like intuition, I almost want to say. And here's something, and this is not a scientific claim because I don't know nearly enough about it, but with free will, there have been a bunch of experiments on, they measure the brain and have people make decisions, and they were able to predict their decision before they made it.
Wow.
So people will say that negates free will or this or that, but at the same time, free will still would work the way life has always worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because life works the way it does, free will exists or it doesn't. I don't know. But my thought is, it almost seems like the other voices, the other thoughts, are your body just rationalizing a decision you have made.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like you need to quiet those voices and look past to get to the real one making the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And for lack of a better word, it's like the soul controlling the body as opposed to listening to the body and following its direction.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Sort of picking that path and deciding which way you're going to go with it.
I gotcha.
So like most of the time, you do just have to ignore the voices that are going on and just be like, yeah. Because it's like, if I'm sitting here and I start like shaking my legs, or if you almost think of it as that type of reaction, just an automatic, you're just twitching, that's what those are, ignore them,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't fall down into those negative spaces, because those are what snowball. That's what
Mhm.
puts you into that place. And I find if you kind of ignore it and stop it at that point and look back to that silent voice, it quiets down, and there's like that, it's almost like it's a lie, it seems like, that you want to tell yourself that, but if I don't think through these thoughts and if I don't use this rationalizing,
Mhm.
I'm not going to come to better conclusions.
Mhm.
But it's actually not true. Once you listen to that quiet voice, you're in a place of peace.
Mhm.
You're in a place of calm, and you can make rational decisions and look at the whole picture. Because you're not bogged down by the feelings of the thoughts in your head.
Yeah, you can't work through the thoughts.
No.
You just have to get rid of them.
It's your biology.
You have to
Well, not
quiet
get rid
them.
of it's just
You just have
to...
to ignore them.
No, yeah, you have to make your silent voice louder, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You tune into it, really. It's meditation. It's tuning into that quiet voice. You got to reset. That's been helping me like crazy. I have not had an issue. Like it's
Nice.
And that's not to say I don't get frustrated or angry. Like those are things I express a lot. But it's usually tied to a situation or something. Overall, I have not been depressed recently. Like at all.
Nice.
And I seem to be able to fight it off at any point. Like the
Fantastic.
same things that would like cause me to fall down that cliff. And
Mhm.
just to
Cause you
get
to
in
go
that
right
spot,
off that
get
edge.
stuck
as
in
if
that
it wasn't
escape room.
Oh.
I feel like I've transcended the escape room. Like I see it as an escape room when it shows up.
Oh, you recognize it and you go, I'm not getting in that. You just keep moving.
I don't recognize it as the man-made challenge it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I look for my answer to it, if that makes sense. Because our bodies and everything are using all of the knowledge and information that we've had through our whole lives, and it's acting on that before we can think. So you want to listen to that voice. It's like you said with the successful people, with the subconscious, like strengthening your subconscious. It is that.
Mhm.
Like you want to strengthen that and to listen to that more
Yeah. No, for sure.
than your actual thoughts. It leads you to crap.
Yeah.
Normal
And this,
thoughts.
of
Weirdly,
course, is
it's
just
insane.
one of the schools of thought that's out there. But that there's the Christians would call it God or something like that. The infinite intelligence is essentially just your subconscious having been tuned in to what you are consciously doing and thinking, and it takes the information and creates the decision you needed to make without you ever being aware that that was happening, and then just handing it to you as if God himself divined the information.
And then, again, going back to that study of they're able to tell what they thought, what they decided before they decided. Your thoughts are rationalizations, not decisions.
Right. The decision is
That's an
made, your
important
thought
thing.
is a
That's an
rationalization.
important distinction I've been making that has made it so much easier.
Yeah, no, it would. Thoughts are just rationalizations.
They're just rationalizations for other things that are going on. What's the root? What am I actually thinking about? Because those things will trail off into tangents. The thoughts in your head. Next thing you know, you're blaming everyone and their cousin about some shit that you really should have been looking within and seeing that, oh, I'm actually just unhappy with a certain situation. Or, look for that root. Find where you need to.
Yeah. Well, and that almost kind of transitions well into our next topic here with the time management. Because time management can play a great deal into how you let yourself get overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
Saying no is a huge part of that. Saying no and not overcommitting your time helps reduce your stress level and just keeps you at an overall peace. Now, you don't want your schedule to be so loose that you have enough time to worry about the next task you have to do, because that's also a problem. But you don't want it so full that you are constantly frazzled because there's not enough time to adequately achieve the goal of each of the tasks you've committed to. It's very tricky. Time management, there's millions of books out there, it feels like. Obviously not millions, because that's a lot of books. There could be. There could be millions of books out there on it. Yeah. There's a lot of books out there on time management. But what's your personal time management strategy that helps you stay out of these escape rooms and stay focused?
Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity? Explain.
That's a lot of it. It obviously doesn't happen every time, because there's times you get more tired of this or that. Mm-hmm. But I try to make the time as productive as I can while I'm doing it. Just get things going and try to just flow. It's almost a problem, but I tend to just work through lunch. Like you see me, I just work and work.
Well,
and work
I don't
and
think
work
that's a
and
problem.
work and work. And it doesn't even occur to me to stand up. But I like just getting a bunch of stuff done. And what I've been doing recently is trying to have that bit of separation of really grinding when I'm in, get it done, and then having that home life.
Okay.
Because there's so many things that you need to take care of at home.
There are.
With laundry or cleaning there's
so
a house
things.
is its own job. You don't want to be weighed down by the job, and at the job you don't be weighed down by the house. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to keep it separate in a way that I'm still finding that balance. Really.
So you're not taking a task list and setting aside time per task. You're not doing it that way.
No, see, because I would like to try to get the task done as quickly as possible. If it takes
So then you just essentially set up a task list and try to get that done, or do you force yourself to get all the way through your task list?
It's there's certain tasks. It depends what kind of groove I'm at, where I'm at in work. It's it's sort of time served plus how much I already got done plus how much it's going to take to get to the next sort of stopping point. It's so dependent on where I'm at.
I got you.
Well, my strategy, and depending on the work I'm doing, and really any of the work I'm doing, I try to work ahead. And that's part of it.
Try to get ahead.
So when I'm already doing that, it's less about having a checklist, because my goal is to get as ahead of myself as I can. So if I want to put a limit, I'm just going to hit that limit and give up. Mm-hmm. I want to get ahead of that.
Okay.
I want to create time for myself. That's my philosophy on it.
Yeah. Mine is, and it comes from the book, The One Thing. I try to take a look at my week, and I say, what are the 5 things that I need to get done this week? 1 for each work day. And in reality, you could do 7, however many days you're forcing yourself to work. Or rather, how many days work is inspiring you to come in. That's probably the better way to look at that.
How many days are work inspiring you to come in?
But I like to set up the 5 major overarching goals of the week, and then with those 5 goals, try to accomplish, you got 5 goals. You want to get one of them done on Monday, one of them done on Tuesday, one of them done on Wednesday, one of them done on Thursday, one of them done on Friday. I mean, last week we got 1 done on Monday, and then we got 4 done on Friday, I think. We ended up finalizing 4 of them on Friday. And this week we've got 5 up on the board. I don't know how many we've gotten through because we haven't sat back down and crossed anything off. But ultimately I create 5 major things that have to get done that week, and then I build my checklist per day accordingly. Obviously there are tons of other things on the checklist that don't have to do with the one thing that needs to get done. But those are the needs that have to happen. And then there's plenty of ancillary things that I also like to get done.
Yeah.
Things that'll help move everything forward, or maybe playing into the next day's one thing. And just trying to stay focused on that one thing for that day and the tasks that support that one thing. And then once that's done, tackling any other things that I can. That's kind of how I try to manage my time. It's so easy to let I had a quote come across my Instagram the other day. Shout out to Iram. He had a quote that said, either you run the day or the day runs you.
Yeah.
Like, those are the 2 options you have. You either have to run your day or it's going to run you.
Yeah.
And if you let it run you, you're never going to get what you wanted to get done. You're going to bounce from task to task to task. You're going to get frazzled. You're going to need that lunch break. It's just not going to be a good day if you let it run you. You have to stay on top of your own day. Whether that be because you were able to set a realistic goal for that day and you're able to get all of it done, or you set such an unrealistic goal for that day that you know you're not going to get it done, but you're going to try to get as much done as you can. You just stay on top of it. Try to focus, sort of like paying down debt. Focus on one debt source, pay it off, move on to the next one. Like, obviously you have to pay all your minimums, all the basic tasks that have to get done. Mm-hmm. But then you focus on the one that needs to get done. You get that done, and then you get to take the energy that was used towards that on top of the minimums towards the other thing and focus down the next one. It's interesting when time management is also similar to debt management. But
well, it's like, if you have a bunch of work you need to get done, it's like you're at a deficit for having gotten it done.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
And with any of these things, like our podcasts or postings and these different things, it's like you're going to have to make more. There's going to be a point that what you did expires.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to re-up.
It's crazy. So much work.
It's great.
It is. There's always something to do.
Work,
There's always something to learn. There's always a next step to go to. Speaking of next steps, this is more of a little comedy break while Stephen gets our next clip set together. But there's something I've noticed recently. I hold the door open for people when they're getting close, to let them in. But I've started, like, if I'm in an upset mood, I now have a way to satiate that mood almost, the craving of doing something mean towards somebody without doing anything mean. What I do, and it also tells you the kind of character of the person that they are, you see that they're coming towards the door, but they're a fairly reasonable distance away from the door, that holding the door almost doesn't make sense.
Like 20 yards away or something, like a good distance.
So I hold the door open for them anyway, and they see that, and I make that eye contact, like, hey, I got the door for you, and they're like, oh crap, now I gotta hustle. And they do that hustle to get through the door so they don't feel like an asshole for making you hold the door for such a long time. But in reality, you, or in this case me, I was the asshole, knowing that I was going to cause them to do that little hurry-up jog. And it's just so much fun to me. I get so much joy internally watching somebody do that hurry-up jog, because it's like, yeah, I got to do something nice and be a dick at the same time.
Have you thought about becoming a personal trainer? that might be the job for you.
It is that mindset.
If that's what
it
you
really
like.
is.
I just want to watch someone get tortured doing basic exercise. What can I do? All right.
Oh, that's great.
So this guy had a cool spot.
Oh, dear.
There's like a bunch of people up there. Look at that. Middle of these mountains. It's so cool looking. All right, he's ready to go.
Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not what he expected to happen. Holy crap.
He fell for a long time.
That
You know what?
would have
I mean, you
been.
could just picture
Think
being in that
think
position.
about that though. If he had gotten to ski instead of falling, that would have been one of the dopest ski runs ever. It would have been long. It would have been perfect. Let's watch that again. 'Cause it looks like he just wasn't paying attention to the space he had behind him and backed off the cliff on accident.
Yeah, right.
Because if I
Going
see
forward,
correctly, he's
right?
trying to go forward down that snowbank.
He just starts going backwards, like, oh, I need to adjust.
Yeah, let me
And
just
I'm off
adjust.
the cliff.
Oh shit! There's a cliff there, and down he goes.
Oof.
Like, there's got to be broken something on that.
Right, that's what I was. That's what I would say. It's
There's
like,
got to
yeah,
be broken something on that fall.
something.
God.
All those rocks that you're watching him slam into.
All of his friends are probably like, oh my god, he's dead. Can you
Yeah.
imagine watching your friend just back off of a cliff on accident?
Well, speaking of that exact scenario, let's watch this clip.
Oh god.
That's literally a bunch of friends watching a guy
Friends just
bail.
watched a dude just go.
Like, ooh.
Because
Well,
he
I
was
wanna go
trying
next.
to do something.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot down there. They just hit it cold and flipped.
And just went straight into that snow.
Yeah, hopefully it was just a cushion and not
Hopefully, yeah. Or a cloud. Like, because they were so high up. Hopefully it wasn't
Oh,
just him
yeah.
disappearing through the clouds.
Like yeah, no, he
Oh,
fell
man.
20,000 feet from that point.
Yeah. Talk about an Everest. All
Is this
right.
the ever-ending story? Like-
What other clips you got on that?
What other
That's
clips
fucking
do I got?
hilarious.
This guy.
Is he gonna take a tree? Oh no, that's a fucking cliff.
Whoa. See, so he made it.
He did. He barely made it. It feels like that's pretty. Like, let's watch that again. That was great.
Okay. We gotta go quick here on these clips.
Let's finish him off then. Oh man. You
Just
can
rolls
see as
down.
he's hitting the edge of the cliff, he's realizing what it fucking is.
Yeah, he's like, oh, no. I'm alive.
Oh dear. Rock climbing to
Classic.
me is the worst kind of fail.
That's how rope is supposed to work. He went from terrified beyond belief to excited.
The adrenaline rush. That's an adrenaline junkie right there. That's all that is.
Yeah, this thing's doing that. Got that last two. I just thought the sound of him was pretty funny there.
It looked like it was a fairly controlled descent at least.
He just flew a lot faster than he meant to.
Oh god, is the ice chunk off?
Yes. The ice choke off. He just flips down.
Oh man.
Crazy. That's gonna end the clips for this show.
Wow.
Computer.
Ladies and gentlemen, those clips are absolutely horrifyingly scary and
Yes.
hilarious at the same time.
Oh, the last scenario you want to end up in.
You know what? Some of those guys probably could have benefited from the next two topics. The next topic is diet. When you're climbing your Everest and you're trying to make things happen, I don't think people understand how important personal health is to making their life's goals come true. And the first step to that is a balanced diet. Now, you don't have to be rail thin or buff or anything like that to be healthy, but it's important to get a very good mix of vegetables in with your diet. Now, meats, there's no problem eating meat necessarily. Just keeping a heavier plant diet just makes you feel better. Makes you feel more energized.
I find like in diet, I found diversity is really nice.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things I think. Even more than just saying try to eat a bunch of vegetables, because people just take the few they like.
Mm-hmm.
Like mix it up, different herbs, different
Yeah.
spices, and different veggies, different fruits.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be the same thing every day or week.
Mm-mm.
It just diversify. Have like some potatoes and beets, or
Yeah.
zucchini and squash, and there's so many delicious You can make a caprese salad, which has
Mhm.
some cheese on it.
It's great.
Man,
That's some great
tomatoes and
stuff.
some mozzarella.
Oh, and the
bit of
balsamic. Oh,
Oh, forget it.
forget about it.
Ah,
No, there's some great stuff you can eat out there
very
that's
simple.
mostly veggie.
Like, it's usually just more simple. Find
Mhm.
real food. Eat some real food.
Yeah.
If it has an expiration date that's like 6
Mhm.
months, a year in the future, don't only eat that stuff. Eat some fresher stuff that's going to go bad. You need real food.
If it can be eaten raw, probably not. It's probably a good thing. 'Cause there's certain things it's like you can't like. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with meat, even though you can't eat it
Some
raw.
can be eaten raw.
But some can be eaten raw. But like vegetables
That's not
and
as bad.
things that don't have
I
to
mean,
be cooked,
and
things
actually
that
it's
can be
really-
eaten raw are just, at least for me, because I've had a lot of stomach issues over the years. They're
Yeah.
just fantastic for the stomach.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different herbs that are great for calming the stomach, like lemongrass or peppermint, spearmint. A lot of the mints
Mm-hmm.
just will balance out your stomach, no matter what you eat. So it really is about that diversity and the different things that they balance each other and work with each other in your
Yeah.
stomach.
For sure. No, it's been. And
That's been my sort of approach
yeah.
most recently is just trying to get that diversity. Not a ton of anything.
Mm-mm.
Don't eat too
No,
much.
portion control is huge. We mistake stomach cramps for hunger all the time. Just because your stomach is cramping doesn't mean you're hungry. Sometimes it means you just need to not eat for a day or two until your stomach stops cramping and you get to experience true hunger.
Or you wait till after the cramps. I mean, there's cycles throughout your day,
Mhm.
at least 2, that are going to hit you.
Mhm.
And you're going to feel like you're hungry, but you're not,
Mhm.
because if you wait past it, you're not going to be hungry.
Yeah.
And then your body actually just switches to using your fuel, which you keep putting food in to create more fuel.
Mm-hmm.
If you amass any fat at all, which pretty much everyone has some fat on them.
For sure.
So you need to burn through those reserves at some point.
Mhm.
So just let your body do that.
Yeah. No,
Wait till
it's-
after the pains. Wait till a little bit longer. Just don't eat till after like 3 o'clock some days. Not every day.
Yeah, not.
Or a lot, but if you binge ate the night before, and you'll know.
Oh.
And
yeah.
I know when I just eat way too much and just all like bloated and
Uncomfortable.
it's
It's
just-
just not fun.
just wait till all that clears out. Give it until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock the next day. And then go to eat. You'll be surprised how much that helps you. Actually, beyond just using your food and getting to your fat,
Mhm.
it's your hormone levels. Those
Yeah.
are all very heavily regulated by the food that's in you. And if you don't give yourself time to not have food and to regulate, it's just going to always be trying to, take care of the next meal. Your body's not meant to do that.
Another big thing about eating is timing. Don't eat too late at night. Because when you eat and you go to sleep and your body has to try to balance between sleeping and repairing and digesting, you're shortcutting both processes. You're hurting your digestive process and your sleep process. Because when the body goes to sleep, it wants to shut down everything so that it can repair everything, including the digestive system. Obviously, the respiratory system continues to work, but I don't know. For those of you who aren't aware, there's a portion during the sleep cycle before you hit REM where you start to dream, where your body releases chemicals to paralyze itself, to keep you from moving, to keep things from happening. Mainly because it doesn't want you to react to the dreams you're seeing. But it's also to allow your body the time it needs to repair itself without moving around and shifting, and it's very interesting. It's really very interesting when you
Well,
read
and there's a
about
lot of diversity between people. I mean, some will roll around more, move around more
it. Yeah.
at night than others. And I wonder if that plays into the levels of that chemical you mentioned.
Yeah.
I just don't know. That's
Yeah, I know.
very fascinating stuff.
Yeah. Very, very fascinating.
Where the body works. We've
It's
learned so
incredible.
much in recent years, it seems like. I mean, there's all
Yeah.
this information about the microbiome and all. I mean, was this anywhere in the conversation 5, 10 years ago?
I obviously
I
haven't
can't
been
think
privy
of
to
it.
the scientific communities for that long.
But I hear this
can't.
creeping in everywhere now, the microbiome and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just understood.
No, it's crazy. It's
Yeah, we have an ecosystem of things going on. We gotta.
you got to keep that ecosystem. It's like
and
you don't,
I think, and I don't know what it is, and people can call it different things. They could call it God or subconscious or whatever. But it could also just be basically that ecosystem's way of talking to you.
Yeah.
Is that that intuition, that inner.
Yeah, it could be.
thing.
Could very well be. I mean, and
Your stomach has like a brain in it.
it does. It does. That's one thing.
It
You
tells
can
you
go
things.
brain dead up here, and your body will still continue to live because of your solar plexus. It's a bundle of nerves right in here, right in your stomach region, in your thorax. That's thorax, right? Mid region.
Well, I don't
Making
know. Is that the bug term or?
I don't know, man. Anyway, right in here, there's a bundle of nerves that is a secondary brain that actually controls the entire autonomic system in here for respiration and digestion. So this can go, and this will still function. It's insane. It really is. If this brain dies, you're done. You can't go brain dead here and have this up here and live. If this one shuts down, this is what's controlling all the autonomic, all the things that you're not thinking about that are happening.
So I'll reiterate here. Go with your gut.
Oh yeah.
Go with your gut.
Oh yeah. For
When
sure.
it comes to eating, when it comes to decisions in life, go with your gut.
Mhm.
Don't let yourself rationalize.
It's by far
yourself
the
past
most
your gut.
important
Don't rationalize
brain.
past your gut.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's important.
Absolutely. My last topic for the day is fitness, actually, because you
Feeling
can't
nice and
climb
fit, I keep
you
moving
can't
stuff.
climb your mountain if you're not fit. You got to be in the right shape necessary to climb your mountain.
Yeah, and that could be mental state.
Could be mental state or it could be physical skills. If you're trying to open a photography business, you can't climb that mountain without being a good photographer.
Yeah, if you haven't taken a bunch of pictures and edited them and had nice shots.
Years
out
of
there,
experience, like
it's not the same.
no, it's
You
not.
can't just pick up a camera and do it.
Mm-mm. Well,
I mean,
what
you
can
can't.
do,
It takes. If you pick up a camera and start doing it, you'll get there. But
Yeah.
You have to start.
yeah, and it's something I had heard on one of the podcasts I listened to. Ultimately, they were talking about how in the creative industry, like film or video, photography or video or graphic design or web design, how do you build that portfolio before you get that first client? And somebody had talked about what they did because if you go to school for something like graphic design, they give you projects that actually build your portfolio for you. So that when you're done with college, you have this list of work that you've done to prove your skills. And what I heard on this podcast is you don't need the college. You just come up with the ideas yourself. Here's my assignments this week. These are the graphics I have to get done. And then you go and you make those graphics, or you go and you take those photos, or you go and you make those videos, and you build your resume, your creative portfolio without clients, without college assignments. If you have the motivation to do it, you can build your portfolio in a rather short amount of time if you do it right, and you already possess the skills necessary to build the portfolio. Otherwise, you're just going to be doing those assignments to build your skills and then eventually have the portfolio. But it's really interesting when you think about it, because in the creative industry, you don't need a college degree. You need a portfolio. More than anything else, you need that portfolio. You need proof of concept. You need proof of your abilities.
Yeah,
and college degrees are not proof of abilities in creative.
If it comes down to it, you just got to do it.
Yeah. You got to
It's not-
self-motivate.
You got to do it to get better at it.
Yeah. And then that process of getting better is the process of creating your portfolio to get you that first client. It's amazing.
Yeah. It makes you. It helps you develop as that artist.
Mm-hmm.
you
It
know,
does.
more than anything else.
It's amazing.
Because everyone's unique,
Mhm.
and you have to get a certain skill level in pretty much anything to get your uniqueness across.
Yes. Yes, because until you, and it's the same thing like with music or anything, you have to get that basic level of understanding, the basic knowledge blocks that build that entire career path. Whether that be in drumming, it's the rudiments. Rudiments are king. If you know your rudiments, all you have to do is apply those across all the drums on the drum set. And then you just get your four-way coordination together, or really you get the rudiments, you get your feel, you get your four-way coordination, and then you have your personal style by the end of all that. By the time you've built that, you've got your personal style. But you can't have that personal style until you have the basic building blocks. Otherwise, it's just nonsense. I could draw all day long, but if I don't know the basics of drawing, I'm never going to make top-quality drawings.
Yeah.
I mean, blind squirrels find a nut every now and then. I might hit one out of the park, but that's just 1 out of 100, you know? Can you think of a time where you've... Wow, we transitioned from fitness to that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
But for climbing your Everest, being fit or gaining that skill that you need, what is something that you've done recently to either to increase either your actual physical fitness, if that's what was necessary, or you increase that base level of knowledge for a certain skill to start building, to start scaling your Everest? Can you think of a skill recently that you've had to do that with?
I've really had to expand.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's a skill that I had been developing for years without thinking of it that way. Because this was back in high school and earlier. I've always been interested in computers and doing different things on them and installing different things and getting different interesting programs and different things working with all the configuration. And I recently kind of got back into that a little bit, just really.
Nice.
And I was surprised how much I still kind of remember, and it's just like I feel comfortable doing it.
Nice.
And I feel like I've reopened that.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a nice place to be.
Yeah, just like I've been through this process of just how original with our podcast and with my Build a Beat and these different things. It's like I've been able to take these different things that I've worked on throughout the years and further hone them and turn them into my craft.
Nice.
And I've been very happy with that.
Nice.
I mean, pretty much everything that I've done, I'm finding a way to make my craft.
Nice. Yeah, I've recently had to pick up 2 new skills. Because I had done B2B marketing before, business-to-business marketing. But that was more in the case of trying to sell them software to improve their internal processes and procedures and management of their data and company overall. But something that I've had to get into is marketing B2B to sell creative, which is a totally different mindset of marketing than selling a... If I'm selling creative, it's a different mindset than selling a physical product or software. Especially in the B2B world, because I have to show value add. If I'm doing photography for an actor and they get a headshot, they know what their value add is. They have headshots that are professional that they can present to the casting agencies, but from there it's on them to have the proper reel and skills necessary to get the job. But with the business, they sometimes know the value add, but for the most part they want you to prove the value add for the product that you're providing, which is obviously a great thing. You need to show value add. But it's weird because with physical products or with software it's easier to see the value add, but with creative there's a lot more guesstimate, if you will. You take facts and figures from previous situations and you apply them where possible to create your value proposition. And really it comes down to the marketing and the value proposition is new to me, and then on top of that, graphic design for me. I've done graphic design. I've done some cool things graphic design wise, but it's never been a focus of mine, and now it's kind of creeping to the forefront where I have to build those skills to really start to beef out that portion of our marketing, really. And it's been interesting.
It is such a different mindset. I mean, if you're taking photos and you're editing the photo, like that's one mindset. If you're editing a video, it's a different one. But like,
to then create a graphic from scratch is totally different than a photo.
It's just such a different creative mindset.
It really is.
I mean, it's more because it's illustrating over, just editing something else, and it's like just creating from scratch. I mean, it's so down to bare bones of deciding what you want out of it. It's like, well, I want this shape square.
Yeah, like if you're editing a photo or a video, you've got footage you're working with, or a photo you're working with. You're doing graphic design, you've got a white page.
How can I layer these lines and boxes to look
and
really
colors
cool?
And
That's what it is.
It
is really cool when you do it.
No, it is.
And it's such an interesting process.
It really is.
It is.
It's a very interesting process.
And the results are always really cool.
Not always.
Well, good graphics.
Good graphics are always really cool.
Cool result. Yeah.
Good.
I mean the result of a good graphic on a website, on a video, the end graphic.
The end. Yes. Yes. Proper graphics they're necessary. They're necessary. It's weird you don't think about that when you go into the video industry. Like, oh, I know how to shoot videos. Yeah, but can you make a graphics package with a client that goes along with all those videos? Shooting and editing, I mean, yeah. Anybody could take footage and clip it together. To clip it together with a storyline in mind and then put the appropriate graphics on top of that to make up for where the footage lacked. Like a lower third to convey the information of who's on the screen, or logos, or title slides, or ending slates, or any of that fun stuff. Or even graphics that come in during the video, not just lower thirds, but like little animations. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But,
It's an expansive world of creativity.
yeah. And then on the actual fitness note, which is the original topic that was brought up, I don't know how we managed to transition so hard. But and I'm not saying weightlifting and all that is pointless or whatever, but to me, from what I've gained in experience when it comes to working out, the biggest thing you can do for yourself is cardio. Keep up with your cardio and you'll feel a lot better.
I can guarantee you mine is crap.
Same, right now?
I can guarantee you. I would be huffing and puffing in no time.
Yeah. But when you work on that, you don't even realize the difference it makes during your day. I mean, lifting weights helps if you're moving a lot of shit. But if you're not, and you're just day in, day out, cardio makes you feel better day in and day out. You don't feel great while you're doing it necessarily.
It makes your breathing more productive.
It does.
I mean, that just...
It makes your
set your day
circulatory
right,
system
yeah.
and your respiratory system better at what they do. I would recommend starting your day with cardio, not ending your day with cardio. But ending your day with cardio is still good. If you're gonna not do it in the morning, do it in the evening.
Yeah, see, I can't live by that yet. I'm going to work on it, but
Yeah.
I need
it's
to
tough.
work more, work out more. Actually, I haven't had issue with like walking, which isn't really the same.
Well, you've
it's
got
better
that.
than nothing.
You've got the key. You've got the fob for that gym, right?
I do.
It's right over on. It's like a mile from this office. You could hit it on your way into work. They've got showers there.
Yeah, maybe I'll start doing something, but yeah. Well, the cardio, I'm not sure how I'd want to do that because there's so many ways you can do cardio.
There really are.
Like what I wanted, you can just go for a run. I wouldn't want to do like jogging. There's certain things that are bad for your joints, like too much of certain things. I really want to be careful about that because as I get older, they're gonna go. That's what goes. Like I hadn't thought about that, but I don't know if it's just different podcasts I'm listening to or something. But there's a lot of just older people, just older than us. We're 25. I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm 22.
But just dealing with the joint issues because just over time they're gonna wear and tear if you're not smart about it. And I haven't been that smart. I'm 25 and I'm hurting. So
I messed up a shoulder in high school.
I'm not sure if I should do jump rope or we should shoot some b-ball. We should do some drills.
B-ball is always good.
I think it needs to be something fun because otherwise
Yeah.
I'm not gonna want to do it.
Yeah, I know.
And why wouldn't it be something fun? Some people actually enjoy just running for long periods of time. If you love that, do it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, my body composition, the muscle composition, is meant for sprinting.
Yeah.
So I'm not good for the
No.
long distance. I'm just hurting myself.
It's. Yeah.
Sprinting, jumping.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, I think that about wraps up our topics. Obviously, we already wrapped up our clips. So, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for the Live in the Moment podcast. I have been Alex Giuliano.
And I'm still Stephen Giuliano.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week.